From Sioux City, Iowa, it's time to risk it all with your host, Ronnie Vidine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Risking It All. So glad you could be with us. It's our pilot episode. And we're airing, of course, after the Super Bowl. So hopefully it was a great game tonight. And hopefully the right team won. Obviously, we don't know because we're filming this way ahead of time, as you can tell if you look on the bottom right of your screen. So yeah, so glad you could be with us here this evening. Risking It All, this is how it works. It's basically kind of like the $1 Million Drop Live, basically, when we had that airing here on RVN. Although the rules are a little more complex than just that. So basically, right now, we have got $1 million. So yeah, that's pretty darn good stuff, isn't it? So here, let's pop it up on the screen. There we go, $1 million. So basically, all we have to do is just to get through 7 questions. And if we can do that, then we win whatever money we have at the end. So basically, we have to risk our money on every single question. And we have 3 options to spread the money around the board, except for, we can spread it to all of the answers if we want to, not just like in the $1 Million Drop Live where we just keep the 1 drop clear. We can spread it however we want to on any of the answers, so that's good. And then there's one where we can just skip the question, however, that'll cost us half of our bank. So yeah, like I said, we just have to get through 7 questions and we'll win whatever money we have. After that. So here we go. Let's play Risking It All. Okay, here is question number 1. Remember, we've got $1 million. 3 options to spread and 1 option to skip the question. But remember, that costs us half of our money. Alrighty, there are 2 states in the U.S. that honor airplane pioneers Wilbur and Orville Wright on their automobile license plates. What are they? Ohio and North Carolina, New York and Maine, Virginia and South Carolina, Alaska and Hawaii. Well, the Wright brothers were from Ohio, so, obviously I don't know the answer, but since they were born in Ohio, Dayton is kind of where they're well known and things like that, I would have to venture a guess on Ohio and North Carolina. And I think I'm going to put all my money on it. Yes, we're right. There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Alrighty, next question. 6 questions left to go. Great start for us. Okay, next question. On which long-running television show would you encounter someone from the planet Gallifrey? The Twilight Zone, The Simpsons, Willow, or Doctor Who? Okay, you would encounter someone from the planet Gallifrey. Well, I think we can rule out The Simpsons and The Twilight Zone. Let's see, I've never heard of Willow. Doctor Who is what I'm leaning towards, but I think we're going to spread our cash. So I think we'll put $750,000 on Doctor Who and $250,000 on Willow. Okay. Let's see what the correct answer is. Yes, it's Doctor Who. Alrighty. Good stuff. However, we will lose $250,000 just, because it's like that. Okay, why calculator? Okay, so now we're down to $750,000, but that's okay. Still 5 questions left. We can still win a lot of money. We now just have 2 options to spread and we can still skip a question. So, however, we have to use it before question 7, obviously. So, next question. Of the following choices, and this is question 3 of 7, of the following choices for which the Australian Brolga bird noted: its ability to kill humans, its intricate mating dance, its ability to kill crocodiles, or its ability to recite the alphabet? Brolga bird. Okay, so we gotta think. It's Australian. It's from Australia. So I don't think it would be to kill humans. I don't think that's right. Its ability to recite the alphabet. I don't know. I think it's either to kill crocodiles or it's an intricate mating dance. Now I gotta think whether or not I want to spread my money or just skip this question altogether. Because if I were to split just between the two of its intricate mating dance and its ability to kill crocodiles, then we would still have 375, even if I just spread it out that way or we skipped it. Yeah, because I'm almost positive. I feel like if they were able to do either able to kill humans or recite the alphabet, I think that would be more well known. So of course, it could be one of those two. And if we were to just split on the middle too, our game would be over. And obviously, I want to stay in the game. So I think we're just going to skip the question. So yeah, it'll cost us half of our money, but you know what? I still want to stay in the game. So we're down to 375,000. But the correct answer is it's intricate mating dance. Okay, so we had it narrowed down to the right two. So yeah, okay. So we're almost, well, basically at the halfway point. Alrighty, this is question number 4 of 7. We still have $375,000. Here is our next question. Thomas Gainsborough was an 18th century English artist. What is probably his most famous painting? Oh, crap. Mona Lisa, The Scream, The Starry Night, The Blue Boy. Okay, I know it's not the Mona Lisa. We can rule that out. Starry Night, I don't think was painted until late 19th, early 20th century, I think. So it would either be The Scream or The Blue Boy. And we have two options to spread our cash out how we would like. We have 375,000. I think we're going to split it in half, which would be 187,500, and put half of that on The Scream and The Blue Boy. Well, let's see if we're right. Oh, it was The Blue Boy. Well, at least that's okay. We still have $187,500. So good thing we split on that one. All right. So we have one choice to split left, and we have to get through the next 3 questions. So here we go. On to our next. There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest is from the theme of what 1960s television show? The Outer Limits, Car 54, Where Are You? Petticoat Junction, The Munsters. There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest. Well, I don't think it would be the Munsters. I've never heard of Car 54, Where Are You? Or The Outer Limits. But The Outer Limits is one I'm kind of leaning towards. So I think we're going to use our last option to split. And I think we'll put 100,000 on The Outer Limits. We'll put 75,000 on Petticoat Junction, and then 12,500 on Car 54, Where Are You? Okay. Let's see what the correct answer is. Okay, it was Petticoat Junction. Okay, so after that, since we split, okay, I'm sorry, I keep doing that. It means we're down now to $75,000 and we still have 2 questions left to go. However, we can't split. We must risk everything on the next 2 questions. So here we go. Here is question number 6 of 7. I am visiting the site of the 2004 Olympic Games, gazing at the Parthenon and eating moussaka. Where on earth am I? Sydney, Rome, Athens, or Barcelona? Well, I do know this. Obviously, the Parthenon gives it away, but I know that the 2004 Olympic Games, and I believe it was the Summer Games, were held in Rome. So we'll go 75 grand on Rome. Oh, shoot! I didn't even look at the other options because I knew it was in freaking Italy. Oh God. Okay, that one kind of angers me now because I guess I kind of glazed over Athens without fully reading it properly. Gosh, you have to do that sometimes. So unfortunately, we did lose all of our money and the game is over. But you know what? We're going to play another one. So, refresh the bank with $1 million. Yeah, see, okay, next time I got to read, which we'll do that now. Okay. Here we go. Here is the next question. First question, 1 of 7 of this new game, and here it is. In what region of the United States would one find sects of Christianity that practice snake handling? Rocky Mountain region, Appalachian region, Pacific region, or the New England region? Excuse me. Boy, I know in Christianity there are people, I have heard of this practice, but I guess I haven't paid attention to where it happens. So let's think. Rocky Mountain region, Appalachian. You know what? I don't think it would be in the Pacific region. I don't think it would be in the Rocky Mountain. I don't think it would be in New England. But like I said, I'm not sure. So I got to figure out how I want to divide this. We are going to use our first spread. I think we'll put 80,000 or 800,000 on the Pacific region. Let's see, that would still, wait, no, hang on. We'll put 850 on Pacific, wait, no. 850 on Appalachian. Okay, 850 on Appalachian, and then 50 on the rest. 50 on all the other options. All right, let's see if we split well. Yes! Woo! We got it. Holy smokes. Okay. So we only lost 150K on that one, which is good. Okay. So we're down now to $850,000. As we move on to the next question, 2 splits and 1 skip. Here we go. Here's the next question. On the television show Bones, what popular singer from the 1980s appeared in several episodes and sang at the wedding of Bones and Seeley? Joan Jett, Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, or Annie Lennox? I've never watched Bones. I've heard of Bones, but I've never watched it before. Although just looking at the options, I don't think Madonna would do something like that. I feel like everyone would have remembered it if Madonna did that. Like it would have been well known. Joan Jett. I mean, I've heard of the show Bones, but if I'm being honest with you, I have no idea what the show is about. If I would have known that, I think I probably would have had a little better of an idea. I think we're just going to have to split again just to keep us in the game. Let's see here. We have 850. See, we can't... I'm ruling out Madonna, by the way. We can't split it 3 ways evenly. So... I don't even have one that I'm really leaning on, to be quite honest with you. So we might have to do... Well, or we just could skip it altogether. Because obviously, I wanted to do it evenly, but now that I realize I can't do it, I would do, what, 250? So then we'd still have 750. Think about as even as we could do it is 250, 250, and 300. And just doing the math in my head, I think we would actually lose a lot less money if we were to just skip, and then obviously we'd lose half of our money anyway. But I don't know. So I think we're just going to have to skip this question and just take the loss, unfortunately. Well, okay, let's see what the correct answer was. Oh, it was Cyndi Lauper. Oh. Like I said, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have known. 2 questions down, and unfortunately, we're down to just 425,000, but that's okay. We could still split our money 2 times. So here we go. Question number 3 of 7, and here it is. As the theme music for Gilligan's Island begins to play, the boat is shown leaving the harbor. Why is the harbor flag at half-mast? The Cuban Missile Crisis, the building of the Berlin Wall, the president had just been assassinated, the failure of the Bay of Pigs invasion. So I'm just thinking about kind of when it aired and when it took place. It aired, I think, primarily in the 70s. I don't think it aired into the 80s at all. I think it started in the late 60s. So, let's see. The president had just been assassinated. I mean, just thinking, well, first let's think about what was going on at the time when it aired, when it first aired. Because I think that eliminates 3 of the answers. Because I know the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Bay of Pigs, and the assassination, that all refers to John F. Kennedy. I don't remember when the Berlin Wall was built, but I don't think we would have had our flag at half-mast because, well, we could have. I don't know if we would have or not. Gosh, this is a tough question. Remember, we can split our money 2 ways, or well, we could split our money however we want. We could still do that 2 more times. You know what? I think we will split our money, and I think we could split it evenly 4 ways. So I think that's what we're going to do, because I have no idea. Like, one of them's not shooting out at me, so let's see. Well, although, now that I think about it, the president had just been assassinated. That would be a reason to keep it at half-staff. Maybe I'm just overthinking it a little too much. You know what? I think what we'll do is that we'll put 300,000 on the president had just been assassinated. So that leaves us with what? 125. We'll put 50 on the Berlin Wall and the Bay of Pigs, and then 25 on the Cuban Missile Crisis. Got it. Okay, the president had just been assassinated. Let's see if we were right. Yes! Woo! Okay. So, we did lose 125,000, but we're still down to $300,000. Okay, so pilot, the filming of the pilot, actually, they first began filming it on November 22nd, 1963. Boy, that show is a little older than I thought it was. Okay. Well, question number 4 of 7 coming up. We could still split our money just 1 more time now. So here we go. Next question. Which musician, perhaps better known for his hit song Rhinestone Cowboy, was part of a group of studio musicians known as the Wrecking Crew earlier in his career? Glenn Campbell, Charley Pride, Johnny Cash, Hank Snow. Okay, I'm almost positive it's not Johnny Cash or Hank Snow. I'm almost positive it's Glenn Campbell. But I don't know if I want to put all my money on it. But you know what? I think we're just going to risk it all on Glenn Campbell. Okay, let's see if we're right. Yes! Okay. There we go. Still have $300,000. We move on to the next question. In Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book, what type of cat is Shere Khan? Tiger, leopard, panther, jaguar. The Jungle Book. Okay, let's kind of think about it here. Tiger immediately jumps out at me. Because tigers are in the jungle. At least I think they are. They're in the wild, at least. Leopard, panther. None of the other three are really sticking out to me, if I'm being honest. I think we're going to use our final split. I think we'll put 150 on Tiger and then 50 on all the other answers. And we'll lock that in. Okay, let's see what the correct answer was. Yes, we were right. It was a tiger. But we did lose half of our money, $150,000. So we were right in putting the majority of our money there, but alrighty, 2 questions left and we have $150,000. Now we're out of splits and we're out of skips, so we either win $150,000 or we win nothing. So here we go. Next question. In soccer, which country would you find Paok, I don't know how you pronounce that, AEK, Panionios, and Iraklis? Romania, Spain, Greece, or Turkey? Well, just looking at the names, they look Greek to me. And not like, the catchphrase, it looks Greek to me. Like, I'm actually being serious here. I'm going to go with Greece. All of it on Greece. Yes! Woo! Okay. Final question. We have got $150,000 at stake. Final question. Here it is. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Excuse me, as the first line of a poem written by William Wordsworth. What is the title? Daisies, pansies, daffodils, tulips. This is question 7 of 7. So we either go home with $150,000 or we go home with nothing. Well, I wandered lonely as a cloud. I'm just trying to think of looking at the options and which one would be well suited for a title. Pansies, I don't think sounds appealing for a title. I don't think I'd buy a poem or a book called that. Daffodils, I don't think I'd do the same thing. So I'd be between tulips and daisies. But I am really not sure at all. Well, I'm going to go with daisies. Put all $150,000 on daisies. Okay. Let's see if that's the correct answer. Oh, it was daffodils. Dang it. Well, that's okay. Fortunately, we go home with nothing. Well, in both games. So, yeah. That's unfortunate. But that'll do it for us here tonight. We're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us after the Super Bowl. Tell me how you like the pilot down below in the description. If you're a regular viewer of the Game Show Vault like I am, they posted a pilot for this show. couple of weeks ago or days or something like that. Anyway, I watched it. I thought it would be a great show for on here. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, and hopefully if this is a success, then we'll turn it into a series. So yeah, you've been watching Risking It All. We will see you all next time. Good night.